Principal called the girl into the room. The principal kissed the girl and put his hand into his clothes. The girl. In a hurry, he was shivering on. The girl's mouth was so tight that the footsteps were getting closer and closer. The danger was getting closer and closer, making the death of the guard. I don't know why the principal turned around. He appeared on the top of the board. He took off his pants, ignoring the girl's cries, and saw the girl still resisting, and held the door panel. The principal covered the girl's mouth so that she couldn't make a sound, couldn't get a response. He just wanted. The security guard saw that he was going. 3 children ran away that night and was very willing to help take care of. Zhejiang walked in with a smile all mother's house just to find a decent job for his son. After he sent the children back, the class teacher began to beat. It's impolite to look at boy and slapped him on the face. I told you to be polite when you get hit. He heard the sound from a distance when the boy being beaten. What's going on? So wait a minute, the boy ran away with 2 girls last night and the police. I couldn't sleep last night. Fortunately, away. A silly girl sat by the window. Hug him, but he seemed to be very. Zhejiang carefully comforted the girl. Zhejiang was about to leave, but he all the way by the girl to let go of Zhejiang and ran back like a runaway. The woman also noticed when he saw the hell are you doing? The woman claimed. Organd was teaching the impure child. Warned Zhejiang not to meddle in. After school, the woman knew he was a new teacher. Showed off his lawyer friend. The woman seemed. The girl was already in a coma when contacted the Human Rights Center. Assault. What were you doing until the child was? Talked to teacher Zhejiang, but in the end they had another purpose. But which hospital? Is it he was teaching the students, but when the girl woke up, she told Mei everything. The police and the school were in the and abused. As for the teacher of the principal, and she maintained a. Then, Zhejiang suddenly remembered that he had principal. There was no one in the room. It seems that the child was taken away. Front of the camera, the girl said everything. He was outside the door and the painful face with a can of candy, and the principal big hands tore through the girl's pants. Take care. He took out the tape and tied the sound and opened the door to check. The girl turned around and ran away, but he thought of what the head teacher had. The poor look made Zimei's heart bleed. Mei came to the classroom with a bag of blood and wanted to When did the harassment happen when he learned it? Relieved Mr. Kim if there is an accident. Our opinion. Is no longer in contact with him, but, in the face of such a retreat, Z. Doing that at school, and if everyone says, is this it's the city hall the? Care, no matter how ZMEI complained, they all. From the beginning to the end he didn't. When he came out of the police station, the TV station was still beating the boy. Boy's hoarse voice formed a contrast. In this situation, they were afraid to talk. Blink of an eye, because he was a mute. Don't talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Z Jong felt heartache. The teacher must be old now. The kids don't eat much. The head teacher felt helpless and took up a stick, but when he was about to start, the principal stopped. Boy, he just didn't want his office was opened. They looked at each other in a panic. If it wasn't for wouldn't be standing here with the principal money, he couldn't let the tragedy happen. At the same time as the lion fell, had to stop the beast. The head teacher, who couldn't care less about the sound, bleeding wound. That day, the head teacher took him and off their clothes and bathed the two. Guessed what? The boy pulled the lock and kept yelling in the fence, but his eyes going to kill you? I'm going to kill you. The out of town swearing and what our Ness and his brother was knocked out by. His brother was gone. He couldn't help but look around in no well. The boy cried and his experience was on the national news at people as a ghost by the head teacher, and the head teacher, what are you doing now? Mr. Chong. Lawyer, he told the two who had just transferred from the court and any cases, because that was the only way. On the opening day, there were a lot of people at the door of the court. Some social elites, after learning about the identity. What is the reason? There is a law that allows the first ranking judge to win when the animals. People downstairs was excited. How can crime and said that they were pitiful. Truth believe it, when the school principal's wife walked over, he slapped Jung first and he was not allowed to be pierced. Me see the human nature of the dirty. They not only had the right to survive, the security guard, the doctor, and even the in the face of the plaintiffs. Is it really possible for a young girl? Even if it is possible, it is impossible. Yet the stupid girl sat on the witness's seat, but she was nervous enough. The animals seemed fearless. Which one of us took off Yuri's clothes? And all three. Of us, how many times did you say that? A lot of you, a lot. But what made me sadder was that the animals started to violate her when the girl did not help to tremble. illy exhausted. I can't believe it. The animals began to operate when the situation was unfavor. The teacher's call at the moment of. He held back his smile. Out of courtesy, John did not turn around. Party was thinking I was a little worse. Hopes that John will withdraw from the case to treat John's daughter, and they will. The university seeing the teacher of the same. I'm sorry, Professor. Up first, Mr. Khan, you have to think about your little daughter. Before today, the reputation did not move the. Could he be so useless that he couldn't? He hit the window with a punch, hatred and dissatisfaction, and various girls' shoelaces, and told her why her son should act like this after selling the house in exchange for her pain. Want to live, you have to do the right thing. John did not explain or argue. Just took the girl and left. You are more precious than your daughter. When she was hit, I was there, but I couldn't. To do anything if you let go of this hand. Now I'm not sure I am going to be a good father too. The sound the girl described the principals. Party questioned how he knew that was the. A little panic, but he suddenly thought of them and did a neck W. According to the two of them, she recognized of the hearing. The mother stopped John again. His heart on the ground. What other? Angie, I'll come back when I'm done looking at the food that his mother sent. John felt a little warmth in his heart now. Only the boy did not testify. In news from Charme the boy. 5 million looking at the arrogant face of to ask what the hell was going on. Forward to going to court to testify and bribed by 5 million. But there was nothing he could do and avenge his brother, but he was. Blood is so heartless. I thought there was no hope for the victory, but she suddenly remembered the picture on the TV before she was violated by the principal. They hurried to the school. Those things were definitely too late to deal. Room. Head of the silly girl. The lawyer looked at the video and was estimated that the silly girl was not, and even reconciliation would be heavy. The right to the case, they will win. The case. Broadcast on the spot. Judge in person and finally won the final. John looked at the words on the sign. Hyan was sentenced to 2 years in prison. For 8 months the defendant, Lee Kangbo, was sentenced to 1 year in prison for sentenced to 1 year in prison for 6. Can't believe it's going to turn. Is only a few months in prison and, in the case of the lawyer, the other, by the other party at this moment, tears to accompany the winner to sing. The ending of the movie was unexpected for world of Korea. The despair of this world happening around you, but you can't do anything about it, and the hope of this. Still a group of people who are determined We fight all the way not to change. Changing us? A good movie every day.